On what was a very, very busy night for the Jets. In case you missed any of it, let's check the arrival board. 3 new arrivals for the Jets, starting with the aforementioned David Bailey at number 2 overall. After a much debated back and forth, New York ultimately went with the edge rusher from Texas Tech over Ohio State's Arvell Reese. Bailey is a game wrecker. He's forced 8 fumbles over the last 2 seasons. Then, at number 16, the Jets with a bit of a surprise, going with the best tight end in the draft, Oregon's Kenyon Sadiq. Sadiq's an athletic freak who ran an insane 4.39 40 at the Combine this year. He caught 51 passes for 560 yards and 8 touchdowns in 2025. But the Jets' night was not done. They traded back into the first round to grab another offensive weapon in Indiana wide receiver Omar Cooper Jr. A yak monster. 494 of his receiving yards last year came after the catch. The Jets needed pass catchers, and they came away with 2 on night number 1. So a lot going on, kind of reminiscent, boys, of 4 years ago, 2022, when the Jets traded back in and got Jermaine Johnson, 3 first-round draft picks that year. Sauce, Garrett Wilson, and Jermaine Johnson. But what did you think overall, Willie, of how the Jets approached night number 1? You
know, it's interesting. I think this time of year, I think teams get in trouble for drafting either for need or potential. I think they honestly drafted the best football player for their team. I think they needed a game wrecker, and David Bailey, they went ahead and got him. And I'm going to be honest, I was 60-40. I was leaning more towards Arvell Reese, but nevertheless, they got Bailey. I like the fact that he's a polished pass rusher. The Sadiq pick threw me off. I didn't know what to expect. I talked to Bart Scott about it. He said, hey, don't think about it. He's him. We'll see. And Omar Cooper, man, I loved his game in Indiana. So overall, I'm happy with the Jets selections. It's just a matter of those guys really being able to be impact players and produce right away.
I think this is, we all realize that. I know that Geno Smith is the promised land, and that's the whole quote that got the hype and all that at the NFL's annual meeting. But promised land for the Jets this year is competence. I know that's a low bar to clear, but that's really what they're aiming for. What they're doing now in this NFL draft, in free agency, and next year's draft, it's about building an environment where the quarterback that they do ultimately draft, who is going to be their franchise quarterback, who is going to lead them to the promised land that people actually consider to be the promised land, they want to have it set up for him to thrive. And I think what they did in the first round of this draft was that. David Bailey, a pass rusher, a quarterback's best friend, is a defense that can keep the score to 1 possession in games. Then you add 2 pass catchers, whether it's Sadiq or Cooper, who are going to be go-to guys who are a year into their development when that rookie quarterback gets here. So can we pick holes in these prizes? Yeah, absolutely. I thought Arvell Reese should have been the pick. I thought he could have done absolutely more. Sadiq, he's a developmental project, but this is about the future. It's about creating a spot for a quarterback to thrive, and I thought the Jets did it. Well,
Aaron Glenn, certainly a big part of these decisions, and out in Florham Park, he talked with our Chelsea Sherrod moments ago about the night.
Coach, you said you were entering the draft looking for difference makers. Yeah. How big of a difference can David Bailey make for you?
A huge difference. Listen to the production he had in college. He's a 6'4", 255-pound man with 34-inch arms. So all those traits, the physical traits that we look for in guys at the DN, outside linebacker position, he fits the bill for that. So and the production that he had in college, it was unreal. So there's when you just add all those things together, we look forward to get him on this team.
Yeah, given his explosiveness, his athleticism to get around tackles and tight ends on the edge and to get to the starting quarterback, how do you think that ability can translate to the next level?
I don't want to just peg him as the speed rusher, and I think that's what everybody says about him, because he can rush with power also. But the thing is, he does have that bullet, in his gun to be able to do that. But the ability to change up and be able to rush with power is going to be tremendous for him.
You've added a lot of pieces to this defense in free agency. Yep. Now you draft Bailey. What are your overall thoughts on how this defense looks right now?
Man, it's it's looking pretty good, but we still have a lot of work to do. Listen, in phase 2, we'll start going over the scheme and getting those guys real familiar with what we're doing. We'll get the rookies in, and they'll be a part of what we're doing. But now it's just a part of learning what we're doing. So look forward to getting those guys in the meeting room. Look forward to getting them on the field doing phase 3, and we'll see how this goes.
Yeah. To the offense, what was it about Kenyon Sadiq that made you want to take him at number 16?
He is a unique player. For someone that size that can run the way he runs, and be able to block the way that he can block, and not just in line but in space also, and his ability to run up the catch was that was intriguing to us. And when you take Omar, he's a guy that makes big plays. He's a guy that made a big play in the Penn State game that won the game. He's a guy that can catch it, and he's a guy that can actually have a rack too. So all those guys bring something unique to the table for us. But the most important thing also that I talked about before is those guys are winners. And the more you can bring winners on your team, the better it is for your team.